Quest updated. Let's see. Does it say anything about me being... Mark all as red. I clicked it. What are you doing? Mark all as red. I don't care what the control thingies that you have to tell me about because I know how to play the game. I just don't know if I'm going to survive playing the game, especially on this difficulty setting. Because I'm crazy. Oh, random person. Hello.
Good day. I understand congratulations are in order for your impending wedding.
Do you have business here, human?
I do. I believe, however, that I may have already found what I was seeking.
And then you'll be leaving, I assume.
I'm sorry, but I have no intention of leaving.
I'll ask once more. Politely. Please leave.
And I refuse yet again. Now what?
Fine. Maybe we can compromise.
He keeps his composure even when facing down an unknown and armed human. A true gift, wouldn't you say, Valendrian?
I would say the world has far more use of those who know how to stay their blades. It is good to see you again, my old friend. It's been far too long.
You know this human elder?
May I present Duncan, head of the Grey Wardens in Ferelden.
Why would a Grey Warden come here?
The worst has happened. A blight has begun. King Kalen summons the Grey Wardens to Ostagar to fight the Darkspawn horde alongside his armies.
Yes, I had heard the news. Still, this is an awkward time. There is to be a wedding. Two, in fact.
So I see. By all means, attend to your ceremonies. My concerns can wait for now.
Very well. Children, treat Duncan as my guest. And for the Maker's sake, take your places.
Please, do not let me interrupt further. We shall speak more later.
Huh? Ever thought about leaving the city?
Of course. But to where? We know nothing about living in the wilderness and have no money to get there. Have you ever gone to Alarith's shop and heard his stories of running from his homeland? Life's not perfect here, but at least we aren't slaves.
Alarith was a slave? Oh. Actually, my character will probably already know that. Still eager to get married. Let's go.
Fine by me.
Okay, more codex. More stuff to read. Okay. The Grey Wardens. The first blight had already raged for 90 years. The world was in chaos. A god had risen, twisted and corrupted. The remaining gods of Tevinter were silent, withdrawn. What writing we have recovered from those times is filled with despair. For everyone believed, from the greatest archons to the lowliest slaves, that the world was coming to an end. At Weishaupt Fortress in the desolate Anderfels, a meeting transpired. Soldiers of the Imperium, seasoned veterans who had known nothing their entire lifetimes except hopeless war, came together. When they left Weishaupt, they had renounced their oaths to the Imperium. They were soldiers no longer. They were the Grey Wardens. The Wardens began an aggressive campaign against the Blight, striking back against the Darkspawn, reclaiming lands given up for lost. The Blight was far from over, but their victories brought notice, and soon they received aid from every nation in Thedas. They grew in number as well as reputation. Finally, in the year 992 of the Tevinter Imperium, upon the Silent Plains, they met the Archdemon Dumat in battle. A third of all the armies of northern Thedas were lost in the fighting, but Dumat fell, and the Darkspawn fled back underground. Even that was not the end. The Imperium once revered 7 gods: Dumat, Zezekiel, Toth, Andoril, Razakale, Luskan, and Uthemiel. 4 have risen as archdemons. The Grey Wardens have kept watch through the ages, well aware that peace is fleeting, and that their war continues until the last of the dragon gods is gone. From Ferelden Folklore and History by Sister Petrine, Chantry Scholar. Those who had sought to claim heaven by violence destroyed it. What was golden and pure turned black. Those who had once been mage lords, the brightest of their age, were no longer men, but monsters. Thenotes 12:1. Sin was the midwife that ushered the Darkspawn into this world. The Magisters fell from the Golden City, and their fate encompassed all our worlds, for they were not alone. No one knows where the Darkspawn come from. A dark mockery of men, in the darkest places they thrive, growing in numbers as a plague of locusts will. In raids, they will often take captives, dragging their victims alive into the deep roads, but most evidence suggests that these are eaten. Like spiders, it seems Darkspawn prefer their food still breathing. Perhaps they are simply spawned by the darkness. Certainly, we know that evil has no trouble perpetuating itself. The last blight was in the Age of Towers, striking once again in the heart of Tevinter, spreading south into Orlais and east into the Free Marches. The plagues spread as far as Ferelden, but the withering and twisting of the land stopped well beyond our borders. Here, Darkspawn have never been more than the stuff of legends. In the northern lands, however, particularly Tevinter and the Anderfells, they say Darkspawn hunt the hinterlands, preying on outlying farmers and isolated villages, a constant threat. From Ferelden, Folklore and History by Sister Petrine, Chantry Scholar. Chant of Light, the Blight. No matter their power, their triumphs, the mage lords of Tevinter were men and doomed to die. Then a voice whispered within their hearts, "Shall you surrender your power to time like the beasts of the fields? You are the lords of the earth. Go forth to claim the empty throne of heaven and be gods." In secret, they worked magic upon magic, all their power and all their vanity. They turned against the veil, until at last it gave way. Above them a river of light. Before them the throne of heaven, waiting. Beneath their feet the footprints of the Maker. And all around them echoed a vast silence. But when they took a single step toward the empty throne, a great voice cried out, shaking the very foundations of heaven and earth. "And so is this golden city blackened with each step you take in my hall. Marvel at perfection, for it is fleeting. You have brought sin to heaven and doom upon all the world." Violently were they cast down, for no mortal may walk boldly in the realm of dreams, bearing the mark of their crime, bodies so maimed and distorted that none should see them and know them for men. Deep into the earth they fled, away from the light. In darkness eternal they searched for those who had goaded them on, until at last they found their prize, their god, their betrayer, the sleeping dragon Dumat. Their taint twisted even the false god, and the Whisperer awoke at last, in pain and horror, and led them to wreak havoc upon all the nations of the world. The first blight, from Thenotes 8. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings, the Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness, and prevailed. Like many others, Duncan gave up his family name when he joined the ranks of the Wardens, a symbolic gesture of cutting ties. He might say this was a convenience in his case, however. His mother was from the Anderfells, his father from Tevinter. His childhood was spent in the Free Marches in Orlais. His people were everywhere, and his homeland was nowhere. He was given the almost impossible task of leading the Wardens in Ferelden, a kingdom that had thrown the Order out 200 years earlier. Facing local suspicions and hostility, he set about finding recruits. Remember that our strength lies in commitment to tradition and to each other. Every alienage has a Heron, an elder. It falls to the Heron to arrange marriages for those without family, to negotiate with the guards when there's trouble, and to act as a sort of mayor and surrogate uncle to the people of the alienage. The title, like so many things, is a holdover from the time of Arlathan. For Herons are not necessarily the oldest person in their community, or even all that old. Tradition gives the role to the oldest soul, the wisest, cleverest, and the most level-headed. Belendrian has been Heron of the Denerim alienage since he was in his 30s. Avoid that.
right.
That's just... So there's no way to escape this. No way to stop the marriage from going on. My character is currently really aggravated. And I'm looking forward to this one bit.
Oh, Saurus. There you are. I was afraid you'd run off.
No, I'm here. Fellow groom in tow.
My, how eager you both look to be here.
Valendrian and Mother Boann are here. Time to face the music.
At my signal, we run.
You had your chance to run, coward.
Friends and family, today we celebrate not only this joining, but also our bonds of kin and kind. We are a free people, but that was not always so. Andraste, the Maker's prophet, freed us from the bonds of slavery. As our community grows, remember that our strength lies in commitment to tradition and to each other.
Thank you, Valendrian. Now let us begin. In the name of the Maker who brought us this world, and in whose name we say the chant of light, My lord, this is an unexpected surprise.
Sorry to interrupt, Mother, but I'm having a party, and we're dreadfully short of female guests.
My lord, this is a wedding!
If you want to dress up your pets and have tea parties, that's your business. But don't pretend this is a proper wedding. Now, we're here for a good time, aren't we, boys?
Just a good time with the ladies, that's all.
Let's take those two. The one in the tight dress and... Where's the bitch that bottled me?
Over here, Lord Vaughn!
Let me go, you stuffed shirt son of a...
Oh, I'll enjoy taming her. And see the pretty bride.
What do we do?
Saurus, they're taking Shiani.
Ah, yes. The uppity runt that thinks he's worthy of speaking to me. Don't
just called
worry.
me
I'll
short.
return whatever's left in time for the honeymoon.
You just called me short. You have no right to do this.
Every time a knife-ear says that, it makes me smile. Back to the palace, boys.
Can you hear me, cousin? Are you all right?
Do I look all right?
You took a hard headshot. You'll have to worry about that later, though. Vaughn took Shiani, Nessiara, Valora, and the rest of the women in the wedding party back to the palace. The Elder is talking to Duncan, that Grey Warden. Everyone is getting upset.
We should see how we can help.
That sounds dangerous. Let's see what they're talking about.
That is exactly what I meant. And... I don't get what you're talking about. The commandments of the Maker. These truths the Maker has revealed to me. As there has been one world, one life, one death, there is but one God, and He is our Maker. They are sinners who have given their love to false gods. Magic exists to serve man, and never to rule over him. Foul and corrupt are they, who have taken his gift and turned it against his children. They shall be named Maleficar, accursed ones. They shall find no rest in this world or beyond. All men are the work of our Maker's hands, from the lowest slaves to the highest kings. Those who bring harm without provocation to the least of his children are hated and cursed by the Maker. Those who bear false witness and work to deceive others know that there's but one truth. All things are known to our Maker, and he shall judge their lives. All things in this world are finite. What one man gains, another has lost. Those who steal from their brothers and sisters do not do harm to their livelihood and to their peace of mind. Our Maker sees this with a heavy heart. Transfigurations 1:1-5.